Hello, everyone. Dan, welcome back to Out Channel. When a narcissist finally comes to terms with the mistake of manipulating you and regrets losing a valuable relationship, it's a profound and often tumultuous realization for them. At the beginning of your relationship, the bond you shared with the narcissist seemed promising, filled with mutual respect and affection. This connection felt genuine, as though it had the potential to grow into something beautiful and meaningful. However, as time went on and the relationship deepened, the narcissist's true nature began to reveal itself. They started to demand more from you, emotionally and physically, and as their demands grew, their appreciation for your efforts diminished significantly. The narcissist's behavior shifted dramatically. They began to belittle and disrespect you, chipping away at your self-esteem with each passing day. No matter how much time, energy, or resources you invested in the relationship, it was never enough to satisfy them. They made you feel as if you were constantly falling short of their expectations, as if you were the one who was lacking in some fundamental way. The narcissist skillfully manipulated the situation to make it seem as though the problem lay with you, that you were the one failing to meet their lofty standards. However, the reality was far different. The narcissist's insatiable desires and whims could never be fully satisfied. But in their skewed perspective, it appeared as though you were the one at fault. As these unfounded accusations and unreasonable expectations continued to build up, the narcissist began seeking out other sources of validation. They turned their attention to other people, individuals who had not yet seen through their facade and were still susceptible to their charm. While they kept you as their primary source of stability and security, they simultaneously pursued these new sources of admiration and attention. These unsuspecting individuals showered the narcissist with the validation they craved, feeding their ever-hungry ego. Eventually, among these new admirers, the narcissist found someone they deemed suitable to be a secondary source of validation. This person was someone they could keep on the sidelines, a backup plan in case their primary source failed them. Once the narcissist was confident that this new source was dependable, they were ready to let you go. They were prepared to cast you aside, promote the new person to the primary role, and abandon you without a second thought. They believed this new person could better cater to their unending desires and needs. However, the narcissist's transition to another person does not imply a change in their behavioral pattern. The same cycle of manipulation, devaluation, and eventual discard repeats itself, with only the individual at the receiving end changing. Initially, the narcissist might be under the illusion that things will improve with this new person, that they have found someone who can finally fulfill all their needs. But as time progresses, they start to comprehend that this new source, like everyone else, is also human. This realization brings them face to face with the fact that this person, too, is capable of making mistakes, has imperfections, and is not infallible. At this point, the narcissist begins to devalue the new source as well. Instead of seeking yet another source of admiration and validation, they start to look back. They recall everything they shared with you, all the moments and experiences that made up your relationship. The narcissist then realizes that their situation was, in fact, better when they were with you. You were always there for them, fulfilling their every whim and desire. You were an unparalleled source of validation, but they failed to recognize this while they had you. They took your efforts and commitment for granted, assuming they could easily find someone better. But the harsh reality soon dawns on them. Finding another person who would tolerate their behavior as you did is not as easy as they had thought. Most people are not willing to put up with the narcissist's antics. Most people would not hesitate to show them the door. The narcissist might not have understood this at the time, but once they moved on to the new source, the reality of their situation hit them hard. The safety and security they felt with you, the assurance that they could do no wrong in your eyes, The comfort of knowing that regardless of their actions, you would always be there for them. All these realizations come crashing down on them. They finally understand what they had with you and the irreplaceable value you brought to their life. But now that they've stepped into the harsh, unyielding world beyond the comfort of your unwavering support, they come to realize that most people will not put up with their behavior. Most people choose not to engage with such toxicity. This is the moment when they understand the gravity of their mistake of taking you for granted. This is when they truly comprehend the poor choices they made. They have a peculiar tendency to glorify the past, always perceiving it as superior to their current circumstances. They seldom appreciate the present, always yearning to return to what was, instead of striving to make progress from where they are. They are trapped in their past, and in their minds, the past was far better than their current situation. This is because you were there for them in times of joy and sorrow, through the highs and lows. You remained loyal to them despite all the hurtful words and actions they directed at you, something most people would not have tolerated. They wouldn't have put up with such disrespect. When the narcissist finally realizes the mistake of taking you for granted, they might discard their new source of validation and try to reestablish their connection with you. They may attempt to reach out to you again, remembering the simplicity and ease of life when you were present. However, their attempt to return is contingent upon one crucial factor: if you haven't made any progress since their departure. They bank on the hope that you remain stuck in the same position, longing for their return, unable to move forward without them. However, if you've moved on and are thriving without them, they acknowledge that they can't reinsert themselves into your life. They realize that you will no longer endorse their distorted narrative. If you've managed to progress beyond the point you were at when you were with them, it uncovers the real problem in your previous relationship. It reveals that they were the ones inhibiting your growth, and they understand that you share this realization as well. Consequently, they will maintain their distance. There won't be any attempts at communication from their end anymore. However, this doesn't mean that they are oblivious to their mistake. It doesn't signify that they fail to grasp the fact that they shouldn't have taken you for granted. They are well aware that they made a mistake. They recognize that things were better when you were in their life, but they also understand that coming back to you is no longer a viable option. They are fully aware that their actions have irrevocably altered the dynamics of your relationship, and things can never go back to how they used to be. Hence, their only recourse is to stay out of your sight and attempt to move on with something or someone else. But just like when they were with you, they will never find genuine happiness. They remain the same narcissist they were when you were together, regardless of the facade they try to maintain. Nobody can ever truly satisfy them because, at their core, they are discontented with themselves. They are trapped in a cycle of dissatisfaction, always seeking validation from others while being perpetually unsatisfied with their own selves. This realization is something they might never fully come to terms with. We sincerely appreciate you taking the time to watch this video and hope it resonated with you, providing valuable insights. Remember, what truly matters is your personal growth and progress. If this video was helpful, please show your support by liking, commenting, and sharing it with others. To ensure you don't miss out on future content, hit the subscribe button and the bell icon. Stay strong, keep growing, and we look forward to engaging with you in our next video. Thank you once again for your support.